The concept of Ayin, nothing, and Yesh, something, is fundamental in Kabbalah, offering profound insight into creation and the relationship between the divine and the material world. These two terms represent the mysterious transition between what appears to be void, Ayin, and concrete existence, Yesh. Ayin, the creative nothingness. Ayin does not refer to an absolute nothing or non-being, but to a state of unmanifest potential. It represents the point where God has not yet revealed himself concretely in the world. In Kabbalah, Ayin is the highest state of divine concealment from which all creation arises. It is the fertile void where God's infinite essence, Ein Sof, hides his light to allow the creation of something distinct from himself. The Zohar teaches that creation begins with Ayin, but it is not a nothingness devoid of meaning. On the contrary, it is full of potential. It is the source from which everything emanates. This concept of a nothingness that contains all possibilities is a paradox that challenges rational thought. Yet, in Kabbalistic understanding, it explains how God can be simultaneously hidden and present in all things. Yesh, the created something. On the other hand, Yesh refers to the world of manifest existence, the something. Yesh is creation itself, everything tangible, visible, or in some way defined. Unlike Ayin, which is formless and undefined, Yesh has form, boundaries, and distinctiveness. In the process of creation, Yesh arises from Ayin. This is a central idea in Kabbalah: something is born from nothing. The world we see, with its physical and spiritual forms, emerges from the divine void, which is not truly void but a source of infinite possibility. Yesh represents the manifestation of plurality, the multiplicity of beings and objects, but this plurality is sustained by a hidden unity, Ayin. The relationship between Ayin and Yesh. The relationship between Ayin and Yesh can be understood as a continuous cycle. Although Yesh is concrete reality, it always depends on Ayin, the void that sustains it. Yesh is never separate from Ayin, it only appears independent. This relationship is a metaphor for divine creation, where the finite world arises from the infinite but remains rooted in that divine void. Through Tzimtzum, the process of divine contraction, God withdraws his light to create a space of concealment where Yesh can emerge. This concealed space is Ayin. Thus, Yesh is the visible creation, but it exists only because Ayin serves as its backdrop. Yesh may seem like a separate reality, but in essence, it is an expression of Ayin. Yesh mi Ayin, something from nothing. The Kabbalistic phrase Yesh mi Ayin literally means something from nothing and describes the continuous process of creation in the universe. The Zohar teaches that this process was not a one-time event but an ongoing flow. God is constantly creating the world at every moment, bringing Yesh, existence, from Ayin, nothing. This emphasizes the creation's continuous dependence on its divine source. This vision of continuous creation reinforces the idea that the world is not a static reality but is constantly renewed. Each moment of existence depends on an influx of divine energy from Ayin, which shapes and sustains Yesh. Reflection. The tension between Ayin and Yesh teaches us about the relationship between the infinite and the finite, the hidden and the manifest. The reality we perceive as tangible and concrete, Yesh, is, in truth, sustained by a deeper, invisible, and ineffable reality, Ayin. For Kabbalists, understanding this dynamic brings us closer to realizing that the material world is merely a temporary and limited expression of divine light, which remains hidden and unexplored in its fullness. This concept is not just philosophical but also spiritual. It invites reflection on the idea that behind all the multiplicity of life lies a hidden unity. Our role is to reconnect Yesh to Ayin, recognizing the divine presence in all things.